I am joined by Robert Griffin III, James White, Field Yates Minakaims.
All right, so first play we're going to look at, 2nd and 2, one of the Patriots' first offensive plays.
What's going on, everyone? Mike Kadlick, Tayler Kyles here for CLNS Media inside of Gillette Stadium, getting ready as the Patriots are set to take on the Miami Dolphins here from Foxboro. A beautiful day. Sun is shining in our face. Walking through the Gillette Stadium parking lot this morning, it was a perfect tailgate morning. Beers, steaks on the grill, everything. It was perfect. I was
smell it from here.
I was going to say, I was kind of jealous. You can literally smell it from here. I was jealous that I was coming into work and I wasn't going to sit and have a couple cocktails and have some steaks. But nonetheless, we're here to give you our pregame report. A reminder, we're powered by Prize Picks and Game Time. We'll talk about them a little bit later. But first, let's talk about the main storyline today, I think, Taylor, which is Kendrick Bourne is back. Inactives just came out. He is active for this game, returning from his torn ACL. Practiced all week this week. Was activated yesterday, and now he'll make his season debut against the team that he tore his ACL against last week. So, Taylor, how important is Kendrick Bourne to this Patriots offense today as they try and get back after their tough 1-3 start?
I think it's going to be huge. The Patriots really haven't gotten much receiver production outside of Jalen Polk in that 1 week where Demario Douglas actually got some touches. We know Tyquan Thornton. It was rumored that the team is currently shopping him. Really been more of a decoy than anything else, as we've basically been saying, where he uses his speed to clear out the defense, which does have its role, but not a whole lot of production out of him. And then KJ Osborne, he's really been disappointing after having a pretty strong summer. Really hasn't been able to do much in the passing game. But Kendrick Bourne, we know. Alex Van Pelt mentioned his ability to get open and his ability to make yards after the catch. The Patriots have gotten very little out of their receiving core in terms of yards after the catch and the separation as well. So I think Kendrick Bourne being back is going to be huge. Not even just the production, but also the personality, the energy he brings. Because it's been pretty dull from the Patriots offense, as we know. Not a whole lot of sparks. Obviously, Jalen Polk and Pop give you a little something, but Kendrick Bourne is a different animal.
Yeah, for sure. So he brings that. He brings the spark, like you said. You felt it immediately, and we asked the players. We asked Alex Van Pelt. He's ready to go out there. He's flying high, running around, dancing. He told us once he makes his first catch, he wants the entire stadium to go Bourne. Yeah. So I mean, it's fun. It's good. And I think that brings an element here where we talk about the mutiny comment this week, right? And the locker room's kind of up in arms.
We're using it, okay?
We'll use mutiny. It's over. It's settled down a little bit, so I think we're allowed to use it. But yeah, Evan Lazar obviously on catch 22, some pushback there and everything. But there were things going on in the locker. But I feel like Kendrick Bourne brings, I guess, a refresh there because he's someone who hasn't. I mean, he's dealt with the 1-3 start, but he's a new body, fresh legs, someone that can feel like he gives them a little bit of an added boost. So look forward to having Kendrick Bourne out there today. We just got the Patriots inactives as well. We'll react to those right now. Let's just read them out. Safety Kyle Duggar. Safety Jabril Peppers are out. Wide receiver KJ Osborne didn't practice all week. He is out. Wide receiver Javon Baker is also inactive. Tight end Jaheim Bell will not suit up. Defensive end Jamri Chroma as well. And then Joe Milton is the emergency third quarterback. So right off the bat, Taylor, both starting safeties, Kyle Duggar, Jabril Peppers, not active today. What does it mean for this for their game plan against Miami?
It's going to be huge, especially considering we've seen the Patriots use a lot more split safety zones last week against the 49ers, a very similar scheme as DeMarcus Covington mentioned. There is some difference with the window dressing, but they run a lot of the same concepts. And when you don't have Jabril Peppers and Kyle Duggar, one, consistent tacklers for you, guys who have such an important role when it comes to communication on the back end. If we end up seeing more quarters like we saw last week where the Patriots had 6 men on the line of scrimmage like we saw in the Super Bowl against the Rams with those quarters looks and a little bit of cover zero, that puts a lot of stress on the safeties because you need to have that communication, know how you're passing things off. Could be tough because we're assuming that Jalen Hawkins will be the top safety, but then we don't really know who that other guy is going to be. Right. Now, Del Pettis, obviously undrafted rookie, did play some snaps last week. Marte Mapu was activated from the PUP list, but he's probably going to be on some kind of a pitch count. I don't expect a ton from him. We might actually see Brendan Schooler, who has spent significant time on the defensive side of the ball this summer in that rotation, but against a team like Miami that's so explosive, can win over the top, and also obviously so dangerous in space, it's going to be tough not having two of your best tacklers and two of your best players overall.
How does it change with quarterback Tyler Huntley now, somebody who had some success in Baltimore earlier in his career, obviously a Pro Bowler the season where Lamar Jackson missed the latter half of the season, took them actually to the playoffs, has bounced around from Baltimore, a couple practice squads here and there, but Miami signs him off of Baltimore's practice squad this past week. He is now starting today's game. as Tua Tagovailoa continues to recover from a concussion. Huntley last week not great throughout through the air, just 96 yards through the air, but ran around a little bit. With this Patriots defense having some contain issues the last couple weeks, Brock Purdy ran wild. Aaron Rodgers was able to make a couple plays with his legs on Thursday night. So how do they contain Tyler Huntley while knowing that he may not be the best passer, but he can make things happen with his legs?
It's all about discipline, honestly, at the end of the day, and we heard that from DeMarcus Covington. These guys need to play as a unit because the coverage, they've been doing their job. They've been very sound, but the defensive line, namely guys like Keon White, Dietrich Wise had at least one lapse last week. That's got to be better. Now, Covington also mentioned, and we saw it in the game, after that rough first drive, they did a much better job keeping Brock Purdy contained. They're going to need to continue to do that against Tyler Huntley, the most athletic quarterback that they've seen so far, can kill you not just as a scrambler, but also on design runs as well. He had some big carries against the Titans last week.
A couple other housekeeping notes before we break for our ads and then also wrap this thing up. Again, kind of quick hitter here, set the stage ahead of Patriots versus Dolphins. Yesterday, along with activating Marte Mapu and Kendrick Bourne, the Patriots signed Jaquelin Roy, defensive tackle, to their 53-man roster. They also elevated linebacker O'Shawn Mathis and center Brian Hudson. I think the big one here is center Brian Hudson. David Andrews, as we know, goes out with the shoulder injury. They placed David Andrews on IR this weekend, and it's going to look like it looks like Nick Leverett is going to be their starting center today. But have to have depth there with the undrafted free agent and Brian Hudson. What do you make of not only Hudson's elevation, but also the fact that the Patriots are looking like they're going to have their fifth offensive line combination in 5 weeks, for this game against the Dolphins?
I mean, that's huge. Based on what we saw in practice, it seems like it's going to be left tackle Vidarian Lowe, left guard Michael Jordan. Again, Nick Leverett at center with Brian Hudson, obviously, is his backup. And then on the right side, we actually saw some of Mike Nwenu back at right guard, where we've all wanted him, but obviously under different circumstances. And at right tackle, we could see DeMontre Jacobs, who got a ton of praise from coaches this week for his effort last week against Nick Bosa. Now, we haven't gotten a chance to see what the offensive line looks like in practice, right now. So things are subject to change. Just letting you know that's what we've seen. You love Mike Nwenu at guard because obviously that's where he's best. Scott Peters even said that in an ideal world or in a perfect world, Mike Nwenu would be a guard. Nick Leverett actually didn't allow a pressure and did look good, especially on outside zone runs last week against San Francisco. And Michael Jordan was pretty solid when he was healthy for this offensive line. So it's things that it's yet another offensive line combination, but at the same time, this seems like the kind of, for the most part, at least from left to right, that's the kind of combination that we could see pretty consistently. DeMontre Jacobs, will see how he does this week. We have no idea with City So and Leighton Robinson what their status is going to be like. But again, you just want continuity at the end of the day, especially a defense like this, that Baltimore scheme where there's going to be a lot of line games. We're going to have to see how the communication is up front.
Going to flip it over to the defensive side of the ball quickly because of our quick word from our friends over at Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the #1 daily fantasy sports app right now, and they are the exclusive one of the CLNS Media Network. Right now on Prize Picks, Keon White, I'm taking him to have more than a quarter of a sack today. I think he gets back on track despite some of those contain issues. I think he's going to get to Tyler Huntley today. He's going to be running around like crazy, but I think Keon can get at least more than a quarter of a sack. And on top of that, with Tyler Huntley, 34.5 rushing yards today, I think he gets more than that. I know they have their problems. They're going to try and be more disciplined, but I think Huntley can get over that number today. Pair him up. No more Caleb Williams free square, but a ton of plays on Prize Picks right now. Again, it is the leading daily fantasy sports app. You need 2 to 6 player projections, and you can win up to 100 times your money on the app right now. So make sure you go download it. Use code CLNS for $50 when you play $5. That's code CLNS when you play $5. We're also powered by Game Time here, and inside Gillette Stadium right now, you can get in on the Game Time app for as little as $72. That's not too bad if you're in the area. $72 for a beautiful Foxboro day. I know it may not be the most interesting Patriots game, but it's still a good day. 2 1-3 teams really at an inflection point in the season, and you can do so on the Game Time app right now. If you don't trust it, go into the app. You can look at your seat view right in the app. Really nice feature that not all of the ticketing partners have, but they do on the Game Time app, so make sure you head over there right now. Use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase as well. Terms apply there, but if it's $72, maybe knock 20 off that. You're in this place for $50. Grab a beer, grab a hot dog, have some fun here.
Make some friends.
Yeah, exactly, at Gillette Stadium. So a reminder, head over to Game Time. Use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Taylor, what time is it?
Game time.
It's game time, baby. All right, let's wrap this thing up with one more, bigger storyline here, and it's Ramondre Stevenson.
Yeah.
Comes into this game, 4 fumbles in 4 consecutive weeks. Now 2 consecutive weeks with actually a lost fumble. They put him back into the game last week, but Gerard Mayo tells WBZ's Patriots pregame show, or the what's that called? Patriots All Access, thank you, on WBZ, that they are benching Ramondre Stevenson, at least to start this game, and that Antonio Gibson will be the lead running back. Now, we spoke with running backs coach Taylor Embry, and he mentioned that Ramondre is going to get some run, and I think Alex Van Pelt and Gerard Mayo mentioned that as well, that they're going to play both backs, but it looks like the lion's share could go to Antonio Gibson, first season here with the Patriots. So what do you make of the running back moves? What do you think of the benching / non-really benching, because he's going to play over Ramondre? Is it more of a status thing? Is it more of a, let's learn a lesson type thing? But what's your take overall on the running back room right now?
I think Gerard Mayo mentioned you got to send a message, because that was 4 games in a row that Ramondre Stevenson fumbled, a second game in a row that he lost a fumble, and Antonio Gibson has looked good in limited opportunities. According to Next Gen Stats, he actually leads the NFL in rushing yards after contact per carry, and only Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley have more rushing yards over expected per carry. So Antonio Gibson's been very efficient, but Ramondre Stevenson's got to learn his lesson. This needs to be a clean game for him. Now, coaches have said it, Ramondre said it, no one is more upset than he is, and I think that we all understand that, but at the end of the day, it's a results-based business, so you got to see more from him. But the fact that Kevin Harris wasn't elevated, obviously JaMychal Hasty they still have,
right.
He got some run last week, but I think it's pretty clear that Ramondre is going to get some level of run, but I would expect Antonio Gibson to be the lead back, and then as Taylor Embry said, whoever has the hot hand is going to be the guy he goes with, so we'll see if Antonio Gibson can capitalize on this opportunity.
Going to be a tough fight against this Dolphins run defense, one of the top in the NFL right now, struggling offensive line, question marks at the running back room, but we'll see how it goes. It's going to be one of the many keys the Patriots need to get after to win this game.
Also, one more sneaky
Taylor,
person who's active for the Patriots, Anthony Jennings.
Yes,
his
huge.
loss was huge last week. It forced Joshua Uche to really be more of a run stopper. He's not really that guy. At one point, he was replaced in some packages by Curtis Jacobs, who we expected to be more of a special teamer. Obviously, O'Shawn Mathis being elevated, probably just wants some more depth there. But against a team that you expect to run the ball a lot in the Dolphins, huge to have Anthony Jennings on the active roster.
Yep, going to be a fun one here down in Foxboro. Thank you for tuning in for our quick hitter pregame show here. Again, Patriots inactives, both safeties, Kyle Duggar, Jabril Peppers out, Javon Baker, KJ Osborne dealing with injury as well. They will not be active. Jaheim Bell, Joe Milton not playing, Jamari Croma, and I believe I hit them all off the top of my head. So we're getting better at this here, but that's going to do it here for our Patriots pregame show. Reminder, powered by Prospects and Game Time. Use code CLNS on both sites for the deals. We'll be back for post-game show live from the Gillette Stadium field, so make sure you keep it here on Patriots Press Pass. Rate, review, and subscribe to the channel, and read all of our written work coming up this weekend at clnsmedia.com.